what you can do is if you're going to Blinkist, for example. What we talked about yesterday. So when I'm looking at myself, for example. So guys, welcome back on the channel, and this interview might be one of the craziest ones. And the reason for this is because the guy who I have next to me was my first client 4 years ago. I can call him now the one who runs the group with me. And besides that, I can call him my best friend who I traveled with in more than 10 countries. I'm talking about Vincent. Vincent, welcome, and thank you for being here. Listen, the reason why I wanted to bring Vincent on is for the simple reason of that Vincent was one of the biggest reasons why we started the group. Why? Because when I was looking at the trading space, I had just one goal, and that was to build a team in the trading space with people to trade the same strategy with. But in order to find those people, I had to bring something to the table. So I made my social media. For half a year straight, I didn't sell anything. I just posted, guys, this is what I'm doing in trading. I'm taking this setup now. I flipped multiple accounts live on my Instagram. Again, I had nothing to sell, okay? It was just proof. And then at one moment, this guy, he came in my DMs. And he is not the cool guy who you're seeing now. He was, I'm sorry to die, just a fuck up, okay? He just lost his job. He just lost a beloved one. And he just lost his house. So the 3 key things, he lost them all. And he was in my DM and he said, Camille, listen, this trading thing, I see that you are doing it. I see that it works. I'm trying this prop firm now and this prop firm and this prop firm. I texted him and I said, listen, you know what? You sound like such a fuck up that I can actually, I think, do something well with it. And this is the moment when we started together. And I said, hey, I'm going to show you exactly what I do. The only thing that I want for you and that I expect for you is that I get your full attention. He says, I don't know if I can do it because I'm about to go into college now. I said, oh, fine. Do you want to be into college or do you want to build your own college? And this is the moment when I think for you, it was a massive step. And this is something that we are going to talk about in this interview. Just for you, quick introduction. Who do I have next to me?
Vincent, 26 years old, trading now for over 5 years. And I had a very big roller coaster, if I would say it, in the journey itself. Learned a lot, found out a lot about the space as well. A lot of lies and a lot of truths. Yeah. But that is something that I think we will dive deeper into.
100%. So, in order to understand your journey, I think that one of the key things that we have to discuss is when I'm looking at your childhood, we have quite some similar things. You didn't have a father, you were raised by your mother. You had a pretty traditional school journey, I would say. You were working almost full time. Yeah. And then at one moment, everything switched. You got your own house and then you got kicked out, same week, your job. What happened there?
Well, for me, to start a little bit about the background and stuff as well, I started in the crypto space on quite a young age when I was 16. Yeah. That was actually the moment for me when I realized there's more between only going to school and a study, which my Greek mom was not very happy about in the beginning. But no, I went for a year on college before as well. That was the point that I was living on my own. I had a lot of bills to pay, needed to work a lot besides going to school as well. And that was also the time that I lost, I think around 90%. That was the start of the bear market. Yeah. So that was the point that I needed to work more, could go less to school. And the point that I wanted to go double down in trading itself. Yeah. And that was actually the point when we started to talk as well. And to be very honest, at that point, a lot of stuff happened. Yeah. I indeed got kicked out of my house for some reasons. School went quite bad as I had to work a lot to cover the bills and everything. And that was actually the point when I started with you as well.
Yeah. When you reached out to me, in what kind of mind state were you? Because you were, from what I've known, and what I've seen, you were sitting across to me and you were panicking a lot. You were like, I don't know what to do now anymore. Do I go to college? Do I go to you? What was the reason why you said, fuck it, I will go with this trader guy. Because back in the days, I didn't have my face on social media. I was an anonymous trader. I didn't have any social media for 3 years before I started my social media journey. So the first half year, I had no face. So you were one of the first ones to actually say, you know what? Let's do something together because I want to see who you are.
Yeah, it's funny enough that you say it, but I literally get goosebumps now when I'm thinking about it. For me, it just had a very good feeling from the first start.
Yeah.
I don't know, and yeah, I don't really know anymore how that came, but it just was there. And especially because at that time I was at my lowest. It was something that I talked about with my mom a lot at that point because I always had a lot of I could understand the moment where I was in and I had like the control.
Yeah.
But at that point I had no control at all. And my mom said to me as well, like, I've never seen you so down as that point. Mostly because I never finished high school. So when I went to college in the Netherlands, you could do like a 21 plus test. And you could still go to college. So I thought, okay, I have my life back on track. But then that fell away as well, same as a family member and the house. And that was the point that I thought like, fuck, everything is just gone.
Yeah.
And then it was actually the last option for myself. I was either I'm going to still make something out of this trading thing because I lost the money from the crypto space as well. And then I was actually looking on Instagram, and with you, it just connected from the first point.
So when I'm looking at your journey, you were already trading before you started with me. You tried several things. And one of the things why I said I want to work with this guy is especially to prove people wrong. A lot of people, I've seen this stupid saying last time. And that was, I've seen a guy and he said, listen, if you make 1% of $1,000, that's just $10. But if you make 1% on $100,000, now you have $1,000. And he said, the skill is not the problem, it's the capital. That's why you need to go to this prop firm. And when you started with me, you gave the exact same analogy to me. And I said, that's so stupid because at the end of the day, it's all about the skill. And if you cannot make 10K from 1K, you won't be able to make 100K from 10K or 1 million from 100K. And in order to prove this to you, I had to show you everything in the beginning. How was it for you to now, instead of going through signals and prop firms, how was it to manually look at the naked chart and then create something for yourself?
That was quite a journey and quite hard in the beginning because you're so programmed with those limited beliefs of that it's not possible, especially by all the fake gurus and all the fake traders on Instagram that show you a lifestyle of indeed prop firms and that you don't need your own capital because you can trade with these prop firms and stuff. And that is something that you start to believe that much that you actually don't think that you can do it with own capital as well. And that is indeed something in the beginning where we had quite some arguments with. But you took the time for me as well to showcase that me, and that is something that eventually changed my whole life, as I would say.
Yeah, because I think that, again, when I'm looking at your journey, you are definitely in the top of fastest results of the people who I ever helped. I think there are a couple of factors of this. One, you were at the edge of your life almost. Two, you were already in the trading space, so I could just start already from strategy instead of from candles.
That is something that helped a lot because indeed I didn't have to start from the beginning. So every time when you explain something to me, I already knew it.
Concept of
and then
you were trading ICT and you already knew like the basic concepts of what trading is. And when I looked at that again, I think that the results speak for itself. In less than 3 months, you went through a profitable stage. The reason why I say stage is because I don't think that being profitable is something you just achieve once and now you're profitable. But I say stage because the market goes in different stages. So you have uptrends, downtrends, sideways markets, and this was for you a big thing as well. He was like, you see, I'm profitable. So in the beginning, before I jump there, one of the most funny things is that in our group, you're not allowed to trade with more than $1,000. And the moment he was starting, he said, listen, Camille, today I make my profits, but to be honest, I cannot even get groceries from this money.
That's me.
He is literally the start of my joke with grocery money. And I said to him, listen, Vincent, in the beginning, it's not about getting your grocery money, but it's about getting the skill.
Yeah.
How was that for you? What was the frustrating thing about that in the beginning?
Well, it was very confusing because it took a lot of time in the beginning. And of course, you have the compounding effect. So in the beginning, you need to understand the strategy. You need to make some fuck ups to actually learn what you're doing. And that takes some time in the beginning. So
Yeah.
to flip 1K to 2K takes some time and it doesn't feel like you're actually doing something.
Yeah.
When you go from 10 to 20K, for example, it's the same flip. And then it feels better for yourself. And that was also still the phase that I was still used to prop firm. So I also thought like, okay, if I do a prop firm, then I would make more money. So that was quite interesting in the beginning, but I still stick through. Of course, it was full bear market, so
Yeah.
price action was going quite sideways, which I understood quite fast as well on how to accumulate on that as well.
Yeah, because I
Before-
think in the beginning you were very frustrating that we were in a bear market until I explained to you this is the moment where you can accumulate and then reinvest.
Exactly.
And that's
that's
the
something
moment
that-
and for you it became very fun.
Yeah, until the point, of course, we started uptrend.
Yeah. So the funny thing is he had his first profitable stage. So first half a year profitable in a bear market, and then he was to me like So okay, I will name some numbers here.
Yeah.
He was one of the first ones to make from 1K 75K in less than 3 months. That's quite some money. In that moment, I said as well, I want you to take off some money and get the things that you always wanted to. So you bought a plot of land in Greece and you bought multiple things. But I said, listen, I want you to understand this was your profitable phase. And he looked at me, what do you mean profitable phase? I'm profitable now. I said, just wait until the market goes up. He says, then it will be even easier for me. I said, well, let's see. Market goes up and it's radio silent for like a month on his side. Then after a month, I get a call. I'm like, okay, it's Vincent. Let's see. This fucking market, listen, I don't have my edge anymore. You were right, but I don't know now what to do and this and this and this. And this is where we had to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
How was this for you?
It was quite interesting because your ego gets crushed in quite a hard way, especially because you think you're the man now and you're on top of the world. Because of course the trading strategy remains the same. The only thing is the adjustments to trade to the upside mentally, or like, I don't know exactly how to phrase it, but it's just something that in the moment itself you're not thinking about. And then the moment you showcase it and you actually showcase how I should anticipate on it, that was the moment that I was like, shit, damn, damn, this is it.
And how was it to have someone beside you to say, hey, you idiot, just look here and you will see that it's quite easy.
I would say that was the only thing that you need.
Yeah.
Because that is the thing that you want to hear at that point itself. Like with just a video course or looking at in books, you can't really relate with the person and you can also not get the direct feedback.
Exactly.
And that is something that I needed in the beginning a lot from you. I needed you to show me that you were doing it and that it was actually real.
Exactly. And I think that was such a big thing as well. Like for you, one of the key things was he was looking so much at certain influencers in the trading space. And he was constantly to me, wait, but this guy is real, right? I said, he owns his own prop firm.
Yeah.
His live trading is fake. And he was like, fuck. And at one moment he was like, but what is real? I said, well, look at your own account. You made 75K from 1K.
Yeah.
So what else do you want to prove? And then he was like, shit, so I have to focus my own journey.
Yeah.
And that's when I said, ding, 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 we are there. That's the whole point about trading. It's a one-man's job. But it's very good to have the right people around you who you can trade with now.
Yeah.
And this is when we started to build the vision together of, listen, I've showed it out to you, but now we have to show other people so we can create this group of people who trade the same system. And this is something we did. This is something we are now almost 3.5 years further in.
Yeah. Still feels like the day yesterday.
Exactly. When you're looking at you went from ICT, prop firms and all of the stuff to range trading with your own capital.
Yeah.
What was one of the biggest shifts in this and what are you very happy with that you achieved from that?
Well, there are multiple things, but I would say something that is very pleasantly about the system that we're using right now is that you're not dependent on anything else but yourself and the system.
Yeah.
Which is something that in the beginning I totally wasn't, because especially with prop firms, there are so many rules and there are so many bullshit things that, at the end don't make any sense.
Yeah.
And that is something with your own capital, you're relying way more on yourself and about the strategy that you're actually building for the upcoming years.
Yeah.
And that is something that helped me in the beginning a lot, and still, of course. Plus, what I want to say as well is by actually focusing on your own capital, you understand the point of risk management and on how to acquire.
Understanding the rules of a prop firm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you can have a very good month, but you fuck up one small rule and there goes your 1 million account. And then you can flex like, yeah, I have a $1 million prop firm account, and the next month you have nothing.
Exactly.
And that is also something, and I don't want to be very hard to the people that are trading prop firms, but
You've been there, so you can.
yeah, like that is something, especially due to you. I really can't take people serious anymore at Trade a Prop Firm, because they always come with like, yeah, I have $1 million funded, this and this, and then next month either the prop firm exchange doesn't exist anymore, or they lost their account. Well, if I have a bad month and I'm down maybe 5 to 10% for the month, I still have my capital.
Exactly.
And I can still make it back, and that is something that comes with the experience and also the confidence. And that's something that you were telling me in the beginning, always like make certain challenges for yourself.
Yeah.
That is also after, for example, the 75K challenge, I did multiple other challenges where I did 100x in a month,
Yeah.
in 2 months with certain
with high leverage.
with higher leverage. But it's especially with higher leverage, you need to be way more focused on the right setups and what actually works for you. And that doesn't mean that you're going to take 20 trades in a day. That's going to mean that you're more looking to, for example, swing trading or taking 1 trade a week.
Yeah.
But that does build a very big amount of confidence for yourself, because now, the first time, for example, when I did the 100x, it was in 3 weeks with higher leverage. But that made me very confident about myself, because I saw that I knew what I'm looking for. And I saw that I got the patience as well to wait 5 days for a trade. And it was very scary in the beginning, because I was like, fuck, I'm gonna wait 5 days. Like, but you need to go through that to actually understand how important it is.
100%. When you're looking at your journey and when you're looking at someone who's watching now and who maybe can very much relate to your story, what is the advice that you would give to him? Because you've seen now, we had hundreds of clients. You have hundreds of success stories created by you as well as a coach. What would you give as advice to someone?
I would say don't try to make it hard for you, for yourself, because that's something that I did in the beginning. I always wanted to do it myself, which is actually the harder way. But what my mom sometimes told me as well, if it can be easier, why not take that way? And that is something that I, for example, did with you. You already made a system that worked, and you showcase it as well. So instead of taking 5 more years for myself to build something, I could rather go with you. You taught me everything that I needed to know, and I made it work for myself. And that went very fast, within a half a year to a year, which if I would have done it myself, most likely it would take either 5 or 4 more years.
Or you would do your college.
Or I would indeed been to college itself. I'm very happy, by the way, still. Thank you, because I didn't went to college. But that is something that I would indeed say to people, and especially when I see for myself from our clients as well, is that they were trading for a longer time of period. They were not profitable. They were fucking around. But the moment when they joined, similar like me, with the understanding that you already have, it can go 10 times faster.
Yeah, and I think the funny thing with you is I didn't have to adjust a lot, but what I had to adjust was important.
Yeah.
So it's basically, you were already walking in the right direction, but just at the moment where you would miss the door. And I just had to adjust it a little bit from a profitable trader's eye. And that was when you went into the right direction. And you are doing now the exact same thing with all of the people. Well, I want to thank you for this interview. I hope that everyone liked it. I hope that everything became clear. Again, if you want to become the next success story, make sure that you join the waitlist below. And then you will see us there. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.